In this Writer's Access video, we're going to continue to talk about building your writing teams. So last time we talked about how to find writers using the search function. As I said before, this isn't my preferred method for finding writers. It can be quite time consuming and doesn't always yield the best results. So instead, one of the better methods is to do a recruiting help form. So you'll come to find writers again. Instead of doing search writers, you'll go to recruiting help. So when you click on this, it's going to bring up any recruiting help forms that you've done before. Since we're still in this test account, there are no recruiting help forms. So you just click create new, give it a name. You're going to generally want to name it after the client that you're searching for writers for. It'll make it a little bit easier to identify later, so I'm just going to call mine test for now. The number of writers that you're looking for, you're generally going to want a writing team to be pretty small, maybe between 2 to 4 writers, so I would generally put this at no more than 4. Then you're going to go through the rest of this form and just fill out all the fields. Here you'll describe the company, so describe the client that you're looking for, give any details and information about the company, their services, their value propositions, anything that you can think to describe the company and the client. Then you'll describe the project and its timeline. Generally, the projects we create will be ongoing, so I would give an example of how many blogs they could expect a week, any long form content, ebooks, and the like that they can expect to work on, what kind of research requirements might be required, and any tone and style requirements that you would prefer. Then in this box you can describe the experience. So if you want someone with a particular industry experience, you can talk about that here. If you want someone who has been an actual journalist, has worked in a particular industry, has a particular writing style, you can request all of that here. You can be fairly detailed and fairly specific. As with everything in Writer's Access, the more specific and detailed you are, the better results you're going to receive. Then you can pick your industry. These are checkboxes, so you can pick as many as you want. Generally, you're going to want to pick 1, maybe 2. So try and restrict yourself. Don't go overboard on checking these. Pick 1, maybe 2 that are going to apply. Project experience, this is where you'll pick the type of articles that you want a person to have written. So generally we're going to do blog posts, books, white papers. Then you'll pick your star level. Now at this you can pick multiple boxes, but it's recommended that you pick the star level that you're going to pay. So if you're planning on paying a 6-star rate, which is 10 cents a word, pick 6-star writers. 4 or 5-star writers can still apply to a 6-star recruiting help form, but they'll know that we're planning on paying the 6-star rate. Your durations, I would pick multiple projects, recurring, either monthly or weekly, depending on how much content is required, generally monthly. And then requirements, if it's going to be very heavy on research, you want to note that. If it's going to require a little bit of research, let them know. And the conference calls you can do, but they cost extra, so I would avoid it if at all possible. So that's how you create a recruiting help form. So you just click create. This will put a request out to Writer's Access, and then writers can come and apply to this recruiting help form. They'll give you a message about how they think they fit the requirements. You can view their profile, their samples. You can communicate with them to see if they're going to be a good fit for the project. And I will get into a different account and show you how to add any writers from a recruiting help form onto a list. So let me log out of this account and log into my main account. because I'll be able to show you how to add any writers from a recruiting help form. So as you can see, my dashboard looks different. My account is the parent account, so I can see pending orders for everyone. So this is a lot. But same sort of setup, so I'm just going to go to my recruiting help list. So you can see we've had a few recruiting help forms here. So if you just click on the list, you can see here are my applicants for this recruiting help form. I can review any messages that they've sent me. I can review, she gave me samples of her work, which is great. I can click on her name and it will take me to her profile. So I can review her experience, um, her writing samples, etc. So then when I'm ready to add people to my writing list, I just click their name and if you click add writers to your love list, then you'll have to go back into your love list and add them to the writing team. But if you just click this little checkbox here, also add writers to a team, it'll add them to your love list and it'll add them to either an established team, which would be all the way down here, so test out, or if you're creating this for a new client, you could just create a new team right here in this form. So that is how you use the recruiting help form. Next time we will talk about casting calls.